Hello, everyone out there. I wanted to share something with you today, just a little bit of my thoughts, what's going on in my head. But as always, just please read the disclaimer. Know that trading involves risk and you can lose all of your money and more than all of your money if you're trading with a margin account. So please be careful. All right, so let's get to what I was thinking of. All right. So let me share something with you. You know, if I'm looking at the oopsie, if I'm looking at the NASDAQ, all right, so you can take a look. This is a daily chart right here. If I can move this down here, it's a daily chart, as you can see. All right, and what I'm noticing is, okay, we are trying to break through this old resistance. I don't know if this will be old resistance and then it will translate to new support. I have no idea. I don't know if it's going to continue to stay in this channel next week. The monthly expirations are next week. I have no idea. I have no clue. But what I did was, I came up with a target for this week for whatever, and I told myself, hey, you know what? I'm okay handing over these shares that I've held from around $87. I'm okay handing them over at $97. But now I'm thinking, well, maybe it goes up higher a little bit next week. Well, maybe I shouldn't risk handing them over this week at 97. Maybe next week I get a better price. I don't know. So my point is right now, there is a 27% chance, as I like to use delta as a proxy for probability, there is a 27% chance that the price of TQQQ is going to go through $97 by the end of today. This is this week's expiration. And as you know, I like to trade triple levered ETFs, but that's just me. If you don't want to do them, please don't do them. All right. So now what does that mean? So over here, I have this little spreadsheet and I'm looking at my price targets. At the time that I did this, all right, so let's do this again. So here, 24,088.89 and a quarter, 96.54. 96.54. 96.54. What this is I enter the current price for NQ futures. I enter the current price of TQQQ, and it is a 3 times leveraged ETF. So if I'm saying that there should be a price target of 24,125 by the end of this week, okay, well, that's about a 1.5% rise from the current price. If the current price is 96.5%, there should be about a 4.5% rise from the current price. And so if I'm looking at this, oh, I'm sorry, 0.15% rise and a 0.45% rise. Sorry, I mixed up my decimals over here. So what this is telling me is, all right, look, the target for this week might be $97 and it may or may not get there this week. I have no idea. I have no idea. So now I'm going to look at expected value. All right. As you can see, and as you know from here, okay, I sold this. So, for those who are with us on Index Optics, you certainly know that I sold this 97 call earlier this week. It had a delta of 18 and I sold it for 32 cents. Okay. It's still open. Now I'm wondering, should I close it and roll out to next week? I don't know. So now let's take a look. All right. I can currently, if I close this, I can currently close it and buy it back and make roughly $185. Great. $185. That's the guarantee. So now $185 is great. My max profit, I sold 10 of these, as you can see. I'm going to move this just here underneath. You see it right here in blue. All right. I don't want you to take a look at everything. I mean, I have a 1,000 shares. I don't like to sell calls nakedly because you can really get, you can lose your house. So I don't do that. I like to do covered calls. And so what am I doing? I have on the 1,000 shares, I have sold 10 calls because each call is worth 100 shares, right? Is covering 100 shares. The same thing on the puts. If you sell one put, you're possibly getting assigned 100 shares. Okay, fine. So now I sold it for 32 cents. I did it for 10 contracts. That's a maximum of $320. And now we stated earlier, okay, now it's down to 170. All right, so there's 170 right here. Do I take the guarantee of 170 right now as I'm speaking? Or do I try to gun for this $320? Look, it's almost noon. I only have 4 hours left, but we're getting close. We're getting close to $97. I don't know if we're going to get to $97 or not. So I'm going to look at the expected value. So what it's telling me here is if I look right now, the expected value, the delta is 31%. There's a 69% chance that I'm going to be fine. I'm going to hold on to these shares. This is going to expire worthlessly. We're going to be good to go. So now, if we look at this, we're going to put in 31 delta, as you saw over here, a 31% chance. You know I like to use delta as a proxy. So 31 delta, and well, now it dipped down to 30. So we're going to put in, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to put this as well. And then you know what we're also going to do? We're going to look at it for all of these. Let's just look at it for a few of these. All right, so 31, 30, 29, and so forth. What this is telling me is that there is currently, if there is a 31% chance of quote unquote losing or handing over my shares, well, there's a 69% chance of winning, quote unquote winning, meaning I'll get to keep the shares, I'll get to roll next week. All right, so if I look, I'm looking at $320. I'm saying that I have a 69% chance of keeping these shares. And if I'm going to multiply that 69% of $320, it comes out to about $221. All right, that's what I have over here. Okay, so this is my max profit. That's right here. And then I've got a 69% chance of winning, which is 1 minus the 31. It's telling me that if I do this over and 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 over again, I should get around $221 in this particular position. Right now, I'm at $205. All right, now let's take a look. The deltas must have changed. The delta is now 27. So if I take a look here, let's take a look. What does it say at a delta 27? The expected value is $233. My guarantee right now, if I close this right now, it's $205. So guess what? Right now, I'm going to get a little greedy. I'm going to say to myself, you know what? It's noon. Don't worry about it. Just let the chips fall wherever they fall. Look, if you do this over and over again, you would have been better off just letting it go till expiration. It's at, your expected value from this particular scenario would have been $233. And your guarantee right now is 205. Now it says 215. So we're going to change that, and we're going to see if there's anything that maybe will change our decision making. As a delta 24, we can lock in $215. Let's take a look. A delta 24 says, take a look. Should I take the $215 or should I wait it out till expiration and take the $243? For me, I'd rather take the $243. All right. So it's just something that I wanted to share with you guys a little bit. So for our paid subscribers, they certainly have access to this file. And if you like this video, just hit the like button. And if you for more videos, it'll just motivate me if you do subscribe. Alrighty, so happy trading to everyone, and be careful out there. And we'll come back at around 4 o'clock, and I wonder how it's gonna turn out. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend to everyone, guys, girls, and everyone out there. All right, be safe, everyone.